Wanderers, welcome to the Wondering Dutchmen podcast. Today's episode is brought to you by our buddy Matt Krieg of Krieg Insurance. February is the month of love. If you don't believe us, go ahead and Google it. Google will always tell you the truth. Speaking of love, let's talk about the loved ones in your life. Have you sat down with a life insurance professional to discuss your life insurance coverage? A better question may even be, do you have life insurance? That is where our trusted friend, Matt Krieg of Krieg Insurance comes in. Located in the heart of Huntingburg, Matt is ready to assist you in protecting your family, protecting your assets, and protecting your family's future needs by finding the right life insurance and right life insurance amounts that you need. Life insurance shouldn't be complicated, and it also shouldn't be bought over the internet. Give Matt a call today and don't hesitate, because we can't predict the future, but we can try and protect those we love.
The Wondering Dutchmen podcast.
Where none of us are Dutch, but we all live in Holland, Indiana. Join us where we talk about what we all wonder about. This is the Wondering Dutchmen podcast, coming to you from Smoker's Lounge.
The Wondering Dutchmen. Yeah, yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the Wondering Dutchmen podcast, brought to you by Krieg Insurance. I am Esquire, and I'm joined here at the table by two handsome devils. The first one sitting to my right is a master of pouring concrete.
No.
They actually call him the Picasso of the concrete world. Always signs his name at the end. The pride of Holland, Indiana, Zachary David Masoner.
Hey, guys.
Sitting over there to the right. It's not hot in here because that's an imaginary fireplace. That's the tea and the high blood pressure.
Mm-hmm.
But he's okay because he ain't taking no pills for it.
NFH. Nothing's.
Yeah, that's true. Put it on a T-shirt. The pride of Richmond, Indiana, by way of Brazil and a few other places along the way. Our buddy, David Allen Smoker.
Hello.
Got a couple fans here in the Smoker's Lounge this evening.
Well, maybe one fan, one critic.
Ooh, who would be the fan? Who'd be the critic?
Duh.
Embrace debate.
Loves the fan. Jenna was giving me an awful hard time for my age and health woes.
Yeah, do you want to run through that laundry list at 40?
Health woes.
Well, so I might have had me a checkup today. And, friend of the program, neighborhood Doc Flamion, he's just a straight shooter.
Well, he's not a neighborhood doc. Like, he's a real doctor.
Well, yeah, he's a
But
friend
he's
of
in the neighborhood.
He's
Yeah.
a doctor in the neighborhood. But, I've been skating around. I got nothing to hide from the Wanderers.
Yeah.
Apparently, for the last few blood tests, I've been really floating into diabetic range, and then I come out of diabetic range, and I go into, could be diagnosed. He said, you got to have 2 in a row to diagnose for insurance. And he said,
How do you think they decide that? Hey, Sugarfoot, you bring me too high.
Insurance companies
But he said when he checked A1C, which
is
is 3 months, he said, that looked good. He said, maybe I'm just a bad test taker. I said, hey, history would stack up and say that's the case.
What was your A1C? About 9?
I don't know. That was a year
35?
ago.
13?
I haven't got this year's numbers.
You could taste his blood. It's
He was
like
running a little rich when he
Little
came
rich.
in that day.
But I'm old enough now. I think we're talking about this too. I was catching some criticism, Wanderers, because of my frequency of urination.
Yeah, you got a bladder like a bird.
Yeah, I get terrible fuel mileage. You know what happens?
Hey, but
performance machines don't get good fuel mileage.
True,
All right,
true.
Performance machine of
any damn thing.
Life.
Okay.
Any damn thing.
You know what, though? The average listener of the show that knows us realizes a few things. First, the fact that none of us have diabetes is probably a surprise. The second, the fact that
Wilford Brimley.
Not all of us are on blood pressure medicine is probably a surprise. The third part is probably the most surprising part of all this is that we all go to the doctor regularly, and that's probably the most impressive part of all this.
And that's probably why we're still in such good shape for being in such poor shape.
Well, that is true.
Badass comes in all shapes and sizes.
And round is the shape.
Yeah.
That's right.
And
They
big
see
is
me
the
rolling.
size.
They see me rolling.
Well,
A week ago, you'd have seen me bouncing off the ice, but Any other time, I'm wrong.
Hey, are you recovered?
So I had Doc look at that today because I still got a hitch in my giddy up. Apparently, he thinks I got a bit of the bursitis.
Oh,
I said that shit'll go away. He didn't say that shit will go away, but he showed me a picture, a little pictogram of what's going on there, causing the crack.
wait, you took you took an X-ray when you went to?
Mm-hmm. They said no, it was broke and nothing was out of joint there, out of socket.
Yeah.
So he said should be fine, but if in 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks it still ain't no better, well, maybe we need to.
We got to do something.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's always interesting.
But I had my fasted blood work done. They got an excellent sticker down there. She's always just
Old Jan's good.
she's in, she's out. Makes the small talk.
Wham, bam,
uncomfortable.
thank you, ma'am.
Yep.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
And you said your PSA numbers were good.
Yeah, no prostate cancer yet. Doesn't
Well,
look
yeah,
like it.
easy.
Knock on. Well,
Some would say that your PSA numbers are not a pure indicator because there's a lot of things that can affect that you should have did the old digital exam to find out for sure, big guy.
I wasn't ready for my glamour shots today. We're sticking to the blood.
You didn't
stuff.
bleach your butthole for it?
Another friend of the program, he had his glamour shots there this week. Yep. Said that everything went good.
Well, good.
Both hands were on his shoulders.
Yeah.
Camera was a lot shorter.
I asked him if
but
he.
wider.
I asked him if he farted a bunch whenever he come out of anesthesia, and he said no. For some reason, I guess I wonder if they don't do that.
He had
no
a
more.
colonoscopy.
Yeah, glamour shots. Yeah.
No, we were talking about a prostate exam.
Oh no, I'm
No,
talking
I was
about
talking
colonoscopy.
about glamour shots.
Well, the
To
prostate exam, they
camera.
just stick your finger there and kind
Well,
of
glamour
give you a
shots
prostate
is 'cause
massage.
Glamour shots is when they
Camera.
colonoscopy, where they scope that baby.
Yeah, okay.
Scope the old shit tube there, and that's
Well, we went from, how did we go from prostate to
because it's in
colon?
your ass too. Like your prostate's right there
Yeah, you get,
by
you
your
get
colon.
there around the bend.
Your colon's not in your ass.
It's 100% in your ass.
Well, it's
No, it's
outside
the
your
rectum.
ass.
your colon
technically.
is your ass.
Damn near killed
No,
him.
it's not.
Your shit tube? When you have colorectal cancer, it's either your asshole or your colon.
There's a little, if you look on
Sphincter.
any anatomy, there's this little stretch. That's the rectum. The rectum's
Damn near killed. Second time.
Yeah, the rectum's just
shotgun shell there.
I don't know about your
Stubby
rectum,
one.
but butt plugs length away, some sort of conical shape. You know how they got them things.
Got the jewel on it.
little
I
bedazzled
was
things.
just-
Some
I
of them
was-
got lights now.
Yeah.
Now listen, I was watching some Kid Rock videos for y'all got here drinking a cup. Just having
Yeah,
a
on a
fair amount.
Now,
thousand.
did Doc have any concern about the amount of consumption, or is he still okay with it?
They know that I'm a social drinker. It's just my socialness changes from day to day.
Oh boy! So when you go fill out all these medical things, since you go to the doctor a lot, and it asks like how many beers a day or a week, what's your number? Because you're lying for sure.
I usually say
Word
10.
socially.
I say 10.
I just put socially.
And then when they ask it, this is the God's honest truth.
Because if they know me outside, I'm like, oh, this motherfucker only had 3 beers this month.
Yeah.
The funniest shit I've ever seen was the look on an intake nurse's face whenever they asked about illegal drugs, and I said yes, and she looked at me and I was like, heroin, black tar, and she's like, what? And I was like, no, I'm just kidding. I'm
illegal,
Can't you tell?
illegal drugs. Are you a cop? You got to tell me if you're a cop. It's a trap question.
Yeah,
that's
I haven't broke down the fourth wall and been like, listen, Doc, but I don't drink near as often as I used to.
Buddy, you don't have to rationalize it.
He listens sometimes.
I don't know that he does.
He does.
You think so?
He checks
Sure.
in every once in a
I
while.
wonder if he'd want to be on the show.
Nope.
No,
I've asked him.
not a
Oh,
big
really?
talker.
Every time I go to my physical, I ask him, and he's like, I don't think it's my cup of tea.
What if we put like a little curtain up, kind of like you'd have at the hospital?
Confession?
Well,
Oh, like that. Like a.
I was thinking it'd be more of a curtain or
Forgive me, Father, for I have drank. For I have drank again.
Yeah.
at 13 ho-hos.
Come in for an interview. Dave, you've had 25 beers in a 2-hour episode. Socially, Doc.
Yeah, socially. We're being real social here, Doc. That's all.
Situational.
Yeah, it is all
I'll be damned.
situational.
Situational.
What about you, big fella? Anything exciting?
Man, I had a whole laundry list of shit, and it just kind of slips my mind every time we get here. Like I really need to start writing shit down. But I had a little. Speaking of hitches and giddy ups and stuff like that, man, I was on the struggle bus hard last week. I had a strained kinked, whatever you want to call it, muscle in my upper back neck-ish thing. I got a little social rub down from a friend of the program.
That was awkward.
It was
just me watching.
It was
your
very.
face.
It was not comfortable at all. And then I actually seeked medical care the following Monday.
Do you think she'd be offended by that?
Yeah, I'm sure she would.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's that?
That I cheated on her
So
with.
he got a free rub down, like a free consultation, down at neighbor Love's hog butcher and shindig, and then
Who rubbed you down there?
We're not going to mention names.
yeah.
Do you have like a massage chair down there? Or
No,
something?
there wasn't. I was
chair.
just sitting in a folding chair playing euchre, and I lost.
and
I
you
got
thought that folding chair would have been the most uncomfortable thing in the room, most strange thing, but watching him get a rub down in
It
front
was
of 40
wild
people,
because my range of motion was gone, and then like it was like right in your back strap.
we
Yeah.
talked about it last week.
On the
There's
show, we
there's
did.
a stretch for
Yeah,
that.
because you're like, well, pretend you got two back straps down either side of your neck. We
So
were like, "Yes,
okay,
you do."
so everybody's privy to the situation then.
Yeah. That's
And
better.
So then I went to so it's the first time I've actually went to the chiropractor and got an adjustment in my life.
You did the snap, crackle, and pop?
I did.
I can't do it.
Okay, so
We've talked about that.
I
can't
did
do
it, and
That's
it
the
was,
first time you've done it.
I went to the late Dr. Gilbert, which was he was an awesome dude. And when I blew my leg out at the mine, basically learning to walk with my leg being trash, it kind of got me all out of kilter,
Yeah,
and
makes sense.
then my back all locked up. So then I went in, and he's like, "I'm not going to try to pop you or do anything like that because you're kind of your body's conforming to new things. So let's just put the TENS machine on you and crank up the volume on that." So he pretty much did the electrodes and all that shit on there, and that was it. First time that's the only thing I've ever done. So then this time I go in, and she's like, "Well, let's just try to get you adjusted first, and then we'll transition into some other electric stuff and
It's electric.
percussion, all this other shit." So, but anyway, yeah. So Monday, worked through it. Tuesday, a big pour, or Wednesday, big pour. Thursday, today, went back to the chiropractor, got it again. And then
How'd it feel?
I feel good. Like I mean, it's still there. Like I can feel it's still there, But
See, I was talking to the person that gave you the free consultation because this person can't weigh but maybe 90 pounds.
I know. And
And I was bringing it up. I'm like, because my bride's like, oh, you should go over there and just because I need a chiropractor because the last guy was a dickwad. And I was like, here's the deal though. I was like, how would that work? Like my leg weighs more than you do. She's like, I use your weight to do the work. And I'm like,
So-
it sounds like
Well, the one lady, she does adjustments on horses, and neither one of you get to horse weight.
no, but
we had
so
a small
that was
horse
another
once.
that was another thing. No offense, obviously, but I was afraid of that.
Yeah. You wouldn't be offending us.
So I know, but if the person that was listening to this would hear it, I was a little
Worried that they could get you thrown around right.
Yeah, I was worried about that because
Well, no, you were more self-conscious of it.
I'm a huge bitch. You know what I mean? So, but the table, man, it
Now, see,
moves
guy that I
and
like-
weird.
the guy that I like going to the most, he's just a real busy guy, athletic guy in Jasper. And he's got a table with like
Yeah,
pool cues for legs. And I'm
Yeah.
like, pal, he's like, lay down. I'm like, yeah. Seriously, though, where? He's like, yeah, the table's rated for this. And I'm like, fuck you,
yeah.
pal.
Well, they have you so that like they put things and they click it up,
Oh, I've seen the videos.
wham, and then the table gives away too.
Yeah.
So that was So anyway, go through all that. Well, then they had to bring in the one that you're talking about that does horses.
They came in for you.
Yeah, they brought her in.
No shit.
And had to do
Boy.
this one maneuver where she stood on a stool behind me and like bear hugged me, and she could get her arms around me, believe it or not, up top, right under the armpits, and then she kind of like did the old you ever been humped by a rhino move, like where they really
Can't
hit.
say that I have.
That was
Fear
another
boner.
weird thing, but we could talk about that off air. But they're like, you go
Oh,
into
I do that.
you
What's the fun of that?
you do your adjustment in like in a like an office, like a doctor's
Sure,
room
sure,
type
yeah.
deal, But then everything else you go out into like Gen Pop. So there was
Really?
like 5 or 6 other people in this bigger room with the electrodes on them and getting the the tenderizer and all that shit, which it's fine. So I'm out there, getting horse humped by a lady on a stool, getting my back, trying to get my back adjusted. So like she's got me in a thing and bam, but anyway, long story short, chiropractic care.
Did you
Always-
good? Did you crack good?
Yeah. And that's what the initial doc said. She goes, you actually adjusted pretty well, for your first time. So
Circling back, I've grown in the last year, height-wise. And I was wearing tinny kickers and not boots today. I've grown a 1/4 inch.
don't believe it.
Just telling you what the thing on the thing said.
Yeah.
Well, when was the
I'm
last time
sure-
you went into the doctor's office?
With long hair.
Because scientifically speaking, you are actually taller earlier in the morning than you are later in the day.
Because when life beats you down and the day drags on.
Well, it's called gravity, Dave. I'm sure you're familiar with it.
Yeah, that makes sense. The gravity spreads my fat ass out, so I'm tallest in the morning. Okay,
Yeah, it's real. Like, I'm not making that up. I wouldn't lie to you.
I know you wouldn't.
What you been up to?
Well, we got baseball started this week.
Yeah.
Which was good. We got, numbers are good, and we got some kids. We got to work on some things, but it was good to get started back in.
Middle smoke's a little nervous.
What's he nervous about?
Not nervous, anxious.
He's the nervousest, anxious kid I've ever met. He's anxious and nervous about everything.
Like Saturday, he has basketball from 8 to 10, and then has to run down the hill and do baseball from 10 to 12. And or maybe that's backwards. Maybe that's the other way
Backwards.
around. And he's like, "What do they expect me to do?" I said, "Run your happy ass up the hill and go to the next practice. It's Saturday." I was like, "Well, you signed up, Hoss."
The funny thing is, I have heard other kids bitch about that as well. My kids have never bitched about that. Like the one guy's kid was like, "Yeah, I don't want to sign up for that because it's on Saturday mornings."
What's on Saturday morning?
Like this sport in general, like the sport that we were talking about.
Baseball.
I'm not. No, not in this.
Oh,
not
you're
in this
saying-
particular thing. Like
Gotcha.
it was. Maybe it was
Hypothetically, what
Pee Wee
could've
football.
been
Pee Wee
bowling,
football at
could've
the
been
time.
bowling.
The games were Saturday mornings,
yeah.
8:00 and 10:00.
Listen, it's not great for parents either.
No.
Now Weston doesn't mind Saturday morning. Like he's amped up and ready to go. I think he's more worried
But like
about 4
I
hours
just
straight.
you never really hear of kids.
Oh, they hate Saturday morning practice. We love it
Yeah.
as coaches. Like, cup of coffee, just watching.
Like I
It's
say,
good.
Weston has no problem with the early morning on Saturday. I think he's just worried about 2 different practices back to back. And
Like Casey said, he bought the ticket. He's got to
that's
ride
right.
the ride.
That's right.
Well, it's
That's what I told
baseball
him.
season. Basketball's over.
No, it
Like,
ain't.
let's be honest. What do you mean it's not? Why are you shaking your head like that?
Because it's February.
Yeah, basketball's over.
You're dumb. Anyway,
I don't think I am.
yeah.
Nothing much going on. Just work's been busy. Janelle was gone in Indy last weekend. We survived. She's got to work this weekend. So that's going to be exciting again. So may bring the kids down to help butcher. Little child labor. They can get in the nooks and crannies.
You know, last weekend,
I did think about stopping by, but then I was like, I didn't want to show up
I
unannounced.
bet there's probably 10 or 15 kids around last weekend. There'll probably be more this
Show up
weekend.
unannounced.
Yeah, I don't want to show
I
up
told you
unannounced.
to come by. Like,
You did not.
Oh my God.
I know I did.
Listen, guys, I know I'm weird. It's just I don't do the unannounced.
You know
thing
what
very
we need
well.
to
So
do.
here's the deal. You are
No,
invited
here's the
for
deal.
beef butchering. I'm not going to make it out loud. Well, it'll be over by then.
We need to get a stack of cards, like paper invitations.
Oh my gosh.
And then like you just let me know, and then like I'll just drive it to his door, give it to him, and then drive back to the event.
Your
we're at.
presence is requested
Yeah.
at the slaughter.
Hear ye, hear ye.
I
At
get
the
it.
flyers been requested.
I hear you. I hear you.
Lord Smoker, request your presence.
Yeah.
Shit like that.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it. Nope, that's it. But you know what's not it? Our friends at Hopf Outdoor Power wanting to talk to you.
Nope. They are ready to talk.
Oh. I was like, nope, like yeah, that's what it is right here. Go over and see our friends over there at Hopf Outdoor Power because they're going to bring you these first batch of wonders. Spring is in the air. Finally. Maybe. We hope so. And guess what? Hopf Outdoor Power is back. They never left, but they're back with us here at the Wondering Dutchmen. And they wanted us to remind you of their great selection of used and new side-by-sides and ATVs. Talk to old brother Dave. His side-by-side is ready for an oil change and probably needs some new tires. Also, spring means that grass mowing season is upon us. Don't wait until the grass is too tall. Get your mowing equipment serviced today, and now is definitely the time. Our friends at Hopf Outdoor Power have their winter service special going on now till the end of February. The winter service special includes discounted services and discounted pickup and delivery. Don't wait till the grass is knee-high. Get your mowing equipment serviced today. All right, big fella.
What the hell is on his head?
Smokes? It looks like...
Did you guys watch
sweat.
Did you guys watch the Grammys?
Wait, hold on. I do want to talk about something well, it's part of your topic.
Go ahead.
I don't even remember what topic.
I don't want to sound like first off, I'm getting old because I read through the list of Grammy winners. I didn't know who the any of them were.
Right.
Second thing, if Beyonce is country music,
I'll kiss your fat white ass.
white or lily white ass.
Is that what you were going to say?
Yes.
It's so stupid.
I can't handle it.
No. That bitch is only trying to do whatever she can do to get one because she ain't never had one.
Here's what I'm going to say.
But Jay-Z's part of the Illuminati. So.
Yeah,
I've not heard this song.
Or
but
he was
I know
a
it's
Diddy
thing.
party attendee, allegedly.
My kids were talking about this today about Beyonce. But, there's been times in the past when Willie Nelson did Seven Spanish Angels with Ray Charles. That made some different charts, like it stepped outside of the country genre into another one. Tim McGraw did a song with, like, Nelly or somebody, I don't know, one of them fellers back in the early
I don't know why you were
2000s.
looking at anybody over
I
there
thought
like they were
Gina-
going to know
I thought Gina
what
was
you
gonna
were
know.
talking about.
But I think plenty of country folks have dipped their toes
It's like
in other
Posty,
genres.
like our buddy Posty.
Same
I mean, he
thing.
started out as a white rapper, and now
if you
look at him.
listen to, and I'm going to tag him in this if I remember, but
Okay,
David
yeah.
Allen Coe's son, Tyler Mahan Coe, has a podcast I've mentioned before, Cocaine and Rhinestones, and he just talks about the history of country music. And what he brings up is how every major era in country music, like that we look back, like George Jones, we say is classic
Cash
country
her out,
music.
buddy. I'm good.
But when George Jones was new, he was considered pop country because it was
Yeah.
so different than everything.
But the whole thing of it is the setup the year previous when Jay-Z got on stage and said, it's bullshit, my wife hasn't won Album of the Year at the Grammys. And then all of a sudden she puts out a fake country music album that she didn't write shit that brought to her. You could play her song, that one song that made the radio from this country album, and it's a pop song.
I wish. Who was it? Was it the MTV Music Awards when Taylor Swift won?
No, that was the Graham.
Wasn't that Kanye, I mean?
Oh, by the way,
who
his
was-
wife showing up
Unreal.
naked on the.
Well,
Unreal.
she had a slip on, but it was like see-through.
She worked
stock.
You
out.
could see her vagina.
Whoa.
You could see
Well-
her vagina. Like if you go on Twitter and look at the uncensored photos, like you could literally see her labia on the photos.
So she
So
had a
not to
dowdy.
get too personal.
yeah.
She has an outie.
What do you mean? It's all over the internet. Like it was. That's the whole
it goes
thing.
back to the joke.
They weren't even invited to the Grammys too. Did you know that? Like they just crashed it. Like they got kicked out and all kinds of shit.
Do you think Kanye's that weird or is just
I think he's super weird. I was
I
talking
think he's
about.
heartbroken from that Kardashian gal, and he just doesn't know how to recover from
Yeah,
it since he's
I'm
been
sure his
catered
kids
to.
north and west are really upset too.
When you say that real fast, do you think they get confused?
Northwest. God,
You're in the car and you hear that. So anyways, you're talking about Will Smith's kid that had the
Jaden had
black-
a vampire. It was a vampire-esque castle on his head.
ward all night, I heard.
I just don't really get like what the backstory or like where that came from, other than just
Well,
to,
let's look at the history of the Smith family.
In West
You got-
Philadelphia, born and raised.
Instagram spent
Yeah.
most of my days.
yeah.
But
So didn't he have a little
Maybe it's
stint
Uncle
where
Phil's house.
didn't he have a little stint where he wanted everybody to believe that he was gay too, like after Karate Kid? Wasn't that it?
something like that. But you got to look at it. Will's a weirdo to that extent. he probably,
Keep my wife's name out your mouth.
and then
That
Jada
poor
would just.
kid's mom is in love with Tupac, who may or may not be dead, and then
Tupac's not dead for sure.
no.
but that's who she was like.
Well, yeah. And then she talked like, could you imagine your wife is in the lounge right
Make
now?
a wish.
No, I did not. Your wife's in the lounge right now. We're recording this for everybody. If she would come up here and be like, "Yeah, banging a bunch of different bros," like, how do you like? And then you just
I mean, I'd start with a fair amount of beers.
I got into a situation like that with a group of fellows that was
did you go to one of them upside down pineapple parties?
no, but I think the phrase was if you knew how many dicks has been ran through your old lady, or if I knew how many it was something like how many dicks have been run through like your spouse, like I can't believe you're still here type thing, like you're such an idiot. I think that's what Will Smith, what you were probably thinking about Will, like if he knew it, like, or maybe
I mean, she told him.
Yeah, she's pretty open.
And then they
but
come
while
back
they
and
were
say-
together, she was having entanglements. With
entangled.
And then she was saying like, "Well, we're in an
some
open
conjugal
marriage."
visits with some other is what I'm talking about. So Jaden Smith waltzed to the Grammys with a Louis Vuitton suit with a vampire-esque castle on his head. It's not clear why the Smith family, son of Will Smith, had the regal headpiece plopped on.
That's in the bill.
But he does have a habit of carrying most peculiar accessories at these sorts of events. After all, he carried his own severed hair at the 2017 Met Gala, which we've talked about the Met Gala before, which is a weird deal in itself. But it said that the designer, and this is literally not a joke, hails from Transylvania. And it said the wearable vampire castle headpiece was selling for about 4,500 euros at around 6:30 p.m., and there was still one in stock. So the inhabitants of the vampire castle are warriors of legend, fearless, bold, eternal. So yeah, this dude literally
No,
had a...
don't give that bullshit. He's a weirdo.
Yeah.
They're all weirdos.
Yeah.
They're not normal people. And when Ricky Gervais got up at the Golden Globes and said, "Come up here, accept your award, thank your God, and sit your happy ass down."
Yeah, don't
because
use this
you're,
platform. Yes.
You're not even close to being like, I don't know if they've released the numbers of the Grammys,
Yeah.
but if you're still watching it, you're in the minority.
Yeah.
Because people, they're so out of touch with society. We don't talk politics until we do.
So did
But-
you see Chapel Roan's? You didn't watch anything to do with the Grammys. So Chapel Roan is the one that sings the Pink Pony Club.
Yeah, you can explain it all day. Not a clue.
Yeah. Anyway, the Pink Pony Club. My
Again.
girls love that song, right? So she wins a big for song of the thing or whatever. She wins the award. She gets up and she's gay from a small town in Missouri,
Okay.
and she signed with a
Down
label.
on the Current River.
She signed with a label for a deal, and then they dropped her. But in the meantime, she had quit her job and was pursuing this record deal, and like they had promised her a bunch of shit anyway. So she gets up, does her acceptance speech about like, it's tough being gay. I'm a carpet muncher from Midwest Missouri, and all this stuff, blah blah blah. But then she said she basically took a shot at all the record companies, like for fair treatment of upcoming artists. Like you're supposed to pay them well, supply them with insurance, basically carry out what you are supposed to carry out, because a lot of these people are, getting
Now, I don't know if
hoodwinked,
you can put it on the whole record
selling
label
their soul
thing,
to the devil and
because
stuff like that.
You had Casey Musgraves, and there's no one, Ashley McBride, I think. That
Yeah.
might not be, but a couple of them are lesbian. And
Yeah.
They were supported well from the beginning, and I don't think it was like
No, but his
secret.
point of it is,
I don't know if Ashley McBride's a lesbian. That might be the wrong name. So Ashley,
I don't
McBride.
even think Casey
And she
Musgraves
probably-
is. By the way, I think you're.
Yeah, I think she is.
I think she's married to a dude.
Might be a real doodly looking chick, but I'm pretty sure she's.
Anyways, to get out of this, because it's something we don't know anything about, I think the point of it is what Big Fella here is saying. These young artists sell everything they've got to move out to Hollywood,
That's
and then these
100%.
record labels
That's
just
what it was.
use them and kick them back out. But that's the business. Sorry you don't like it. You didn't have to sell your shit in Missouri to go chase the dream out in California.
Yeah.
Tough shit. Like that's, hey, High risk, high reward.
Well, and I think probably parents anymore it's been such a thing, like people make it and it's publicized because we have so much media on everything. Like there was a time your parents would have not been supportive of such a thing. And you'd have to be pretty damn sure you were going to make it. But now it's like, oh, sure, sweetheart, go on out there. Maybe you suck.
Yeah.
But nobody's going to tell you.
She told if I ever wore a Grammy, I would go up here and in front of the most powerful people in music.
Wore a Grammy or won a Grammy?
If I won a Grammy, I would go up here in front of the most powerful people in music. I would demand that labels and the industry profiting millions of dollars off of artists would offer livable wage and health care, especially to developing artists.
Yeah, that's not the business
That's
you're
not
in.
how it works, though. Yeah, like you make your millions of dollars if you're good, but
Your record sales, yeah.
That is that old argument of everybody should get.
Does that have something to do with like the entitlement of Gen Z?
But here's the thing: if you're
I think it does,
if you're a good artist, then you're also writing songs before you go out there on your own, and you're making royalties off those songs.
That's what
off of your craft. Now,
And
if you're
she's
just a
singing
good
about
performer-
she's singing about dancing at a Pink Pony Club, which was like a gay bar.
Oh, I thought it was a My Little Pony thing.
No, the Pink Pony Club. Like she's
or it was
singing about dancing.
gentleman's establishment.
Yeah, Pink Pony Club. It was like a
Jump on it, jump on
transgender gay bar.
I'm over it. I don't care about the Grammys, the Oscars.
Casey, what do you got, brother?
All these damn messaging apps that organizations use.
I love them.
And it is a
Don't you
pain
even
in the
start
ass.
with me.
I love them.
And I've got on there Group Me, Band, Slack, Remind, etc.
What's Slack? I've never heard of that one.
Well, that's the one, the religious institution at which Janelle and I attend use that we didn't pay any attention to because Zoe and them had religion class on Monday. Because for first graders, they've done this new little thing that involves parents. And there's some people that listen to the show that
They don't ride the transfer bus on Wednesdays anymore?
no, they do it on Mondays, and then second grade they'll start.
Oh, okay.
So Monday rolls around. Janelle and I get up there a little bit early, come from the resort. Janelle comes from home, and Janelle's like 5-7 minutes early. Parking lot's empty, and I'm like, we're never this early where the parking lot is empty. There's something going on. So I go on Facebook. Nothing. Like it said it was in the bulletin this weekend at church. That this was going to happen. Turns out they sent it on Slack that we're not involved with, that it wasn't going to happen. So it was just one of those big defeating purposes. And so on my drive home, I was like, you know what? There needs to be one of these aggregating systems that puts all of these all on one to where there's one central database for all of these messaging apps to make life easy.
The thing is, you still have to log in from there. I've been, to your point, I didn't know you're going to the church side, but so we've got 3 kids in way different age groups, and I've got 6 apps on my phone for different sports leagues and 2 different for each grade probably. And it seems like the superintendent of the school system or somewhere in that neck of the woods just say, here's the deal. Everybody's going to migrate to this one.
Now, baseball uses Remind. High school and middle school program uses Remind.
Right, but then you got middle school baseball uses Band, but high school baseball uses
Remind.
No, Team Linked, I think.
I have 5. I have 5 on my phone right now.
So we've got Remind, Band, Team Linked.
You got Parent Square?
Parent Square, that's
There's
just
one.
school. There's 2 more that I can't think of because my phone's taking the video.
So I run Team Linked, Parent Square, Group Me, where else? Remind, and what the hell did I also say?
Band.
No, I don't run. We don't have Band.
Band is used by Hummingbird.
Yeah.
Used to be, but now they
And
use Playground.
7th grade basketball.
Remind is you. Oh, Seesaw. We used to have Seesaw. We don't have that anymore.
That one's one.
So I'm a huge proponent of the team apps. Like I really dig them because.
Yeah, but just pick one.
No, you can't just pick one.
Sure, you can do anything you want. It's America.
Yeah, amen, brother. But so Team Linked right now on my Team Linked, I've got Max's basketball. Nothing with the girls. Basketball is done through a messaging app or is done through like an organization app. It's all done by group thread text messages.
That's brutal.
That I freaking hate. And you know what else? I'm not on them. They only pick one parent. And me and my wife's communication is very peculiar, if you could only imagine that.
I don't know if peculiar is a word.
Yeah. So she is the one that's trying to field all these texts, which she doesn't listen to this show, so I can say really whatever I want to. She is terrible about answering texts or relaying those messages to me. Like, for example, Sunday afternoon, Eleanor had practice at 2:00. No, that was Saturday at 2:00. She had practice. She texted me at 1:45. No, 1:55.
Here we go.
Are you taking Eleanor to practice?
Didn't know anything about
What practice are you speaking of? Well, it's on the calendar. Okay. Yep, sure am. Eleanor, get your shit together. Let's go, So I wish, like,
So when you sign the girls up, why don't you just not put her number there and just leave yours there?
because I didn't sign the girls up.
Root cause.
It was they weren't signed up for this shit. The regular teams. So like the Fever, the little girls stuff, like we did the little girls Raiders,
Little Lady Raiders, yeah.
Little Lady Raiders. That stuff was all on Team Linked.
Yeah.
Yeah, which was fine.
Yeah.
This is extracurricular shit. Because they have to play like a tournament basketball thing.
That's why I said basketball's over.
At the ripe old age of 3rd grade.
Yeah, I bet that's
So
a
like
barn
the
burner.
third grade and
Barn burner.
the 6th grade, they've got these little extracurricular teams that are not being ran through team apps, that are ran through text threads. And it really causes a lot of marital stress between me and my spouse trying to figure out who needs to be what and where. And
Yeah.
man, I hate it. So yeah, I'm all in on them. I like them.
I mean, we use Remind, but it's just like some of those that you're not, I don't know. I just,
Another good thing about them, another positive of them, like you can turn your notifications on for them, but you can turn your sound off. So to where it only shows up as a banner on your phone.
well, my phone's on silent 99% of the time.
For sure. Right. Well, mine's not because I have to have it on for work and got to be able to hear it like on a construction site. It's no big deal. But could you imagine?
Is that a stab at white collar workers?
Yeah. If you want to take it that way, I'll fish it
Well,
out.
that's how you were throwing it out
I'll
there.
dish it out. Yeah. I mean, I'm not in office, so we always got machines or saws or something going on, to where we got to be able to hear it ring.
Okay.
But group threads with I don't know what the cap, how much is the cap on Apple? Like how many people are you allowed, how many recipients can you have in a group thread?
Never had that many to even test that water.
I've tried to create them before, like when I was a head coach of a team, like that initial, hey, I'm the coach of, your daughter's been selected or your son's been selected to be, this is how we'll be communicating from here on out, and send them the link for Team Linked or Remind or whatever it is. And I think you can only put like 18 or 20 in a text thread. And when everybody texts back at the same time, like your phone goes into nuclear meltdown. You know what I mean? And I hate it.
Yeah. The only bad thing about Remind is it's got a 300 character. So like I sent it out this week, like a little longer explanation because you're dealing with.
Hey, thanks for adding me to
the
that.
cat.
'cause I didn't sign up,
you can't
just threw
type
me in there.
you can't type a whole ass deal.
Yeah.
Yes.
So a lot of times I'll use the Notes app and then screenshot that and send it.
Post the photo
When I got to post a little bit more. But I don't know. I was just thinking about it because there's a lot of them. Everybody utilizes them. But to Dave's point, I agree. Find one to use for some
Seems
of
like
those
the school system would be like, hey, everybody, let's please use.
X, Y, and Z.
now that you say it with Team Linked, you can go.
You get, like there's different
'cause
grades.
Yeah,
there's
yeah,
different
yeah. Because you
sports for
go
the
to your
grades.
team. Like you could have. So right now, that's the Fever. That's Eleanor's team,
Yeah.
and then this is. These are all the upcoming. So we registered for baseball. We registered for baseball and softball. So now I've got
I got to register for softball yet.
You better. It's going to close in like 2 days.
No, it's longer than that.
No, it's coming up.
We
Okay.
probably know a person that we can get
Huntingburg youth baseball and then 2 Huntingburg girls softballs. It says pending teams, so like they're all on Team Link. Which
Well,
I do appreciate that now.
Well, and we do.
I like that.
I guess we still do the old fashioned signups because we still do the parent meeting. So
yes.
we still do it that way. And
But trying to figure out which kid's got to be where when, I want to look in one place and be like, oh shit, you got a problem. They're both
Well,
different places at the same time.
See, that's what the warden does with the Google Calendar.
Jen and I run a Google Calendar, but
so she
not
tries to do
everything
that too.
makes
But the thing is, with mine, I guess I haven't figured out how to turn the notifications on for like the Google Calendar to where
we can work through that.
Bing, like
the technology exists.
a couple hours before
every Friday
said event.
Every Friday, my phone will tell me Friday. Well, because it was when I was in private practice. Friday afternoon.
Oh, your
noon,
appointments or whatever.
Schedule no appointments after.
Yeah.
So it's still dings. So yeah, it's really simple, buddy. We can work through that.
That'd be great. If you guys could give me a tutorial on that, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, well, we don't have. You just click on it.
It was saving me a lot
reminder,
of unneeded marital
settings,
stress.
Notification settings, and
reminder, and you can go 15 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour, 15 hours, 12 hours, 2 days, whatever you want.
Yeah,
it's amazing, and we don't even have to call Google support.
No,
because they're not open right now, anyways.
No, because they've
work
office
maybe
hours.
But hey, you know what? It's time to take a quick. And our buddy Logan Clark and LC Lawn Care and Pressure Washing, give him a call today.
Our buddy Logan Clark doesn't just hang Christmas lights. He owns and operates LC Lawn Care and Pressure Washing. The good news is Logan has openings for lawn care in Huntingburg and Jasper areas. The better news, Logan is doing pressure washing not only in DuBois County, but also in the counties that surround DuBois County. Everyone is busier now than ever, whether it's getting on your porches and patios and decks cleaned up and ready for better weather or keeping the yard nice and trimmed. Logan is ready for you. But don't wait. His schedule is filling up fast.
Hey, and we're back. Big thank you to Logan Clark. We appreciate it. Give him a call. Nobody's got time to mow their own lawns. And if you're a pool guy like these two over here to my right, get that deck looking nice. Be ready to entertain. Get it. Let them come in and pressure wash it. Get it cleaned off. Dave, off-road park, surprisingly unchaotic.
Oh, yeah. I did these Monday. I was really on top of it because I feel like I've been dropping the ball the last couple of weeks. So we took the buggy to a little state recreational area this last weekend. A little nervous about it because I've never been real easy on the old gal. You know what I mean?
I don't know how putting 15,000 miles in 10 weeks is being easy on the old gal.
Easy miles. Easy miles. But I was really surprised because I'm thinking, like, I got in my head, this is just like the whole intent of this 3,500 acre thing is just people out there
ripping, tearing
shit up. But people were on the right side of the road. We were with a group of 3 buggies.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how many people there was in us, but 3 buggies. And we'd stop to check out a map, to see where we wanted to head to in this place next. And
that's wild.
Somebody'd come by. Hey, you guys okay? Yep. All right. Have a good day. And they'd take off. And then you start seeing people coming. And I was like, man, we're going to be coming around a corner. Somebody's going to run us over with a Jeep.
But do they allow Jeeps in there?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
There was some kid in there. I say kid, probably mid-20s. Looked to be couldn't have been older than 3 or 4 years old. Looked like a brand new Toyota Tacoma crew cab.
Oh, gosh.
Just out there ripping through the trails. Just having a hell of a time. And he'd come up to the parking lot, turn around, and go right back in. And I'm like, good grief, man. Like, I just can't imagine.
Yeah.
I was so daggone like, because I didn't
White-knuckled?
Well, I didn't know where any of this stuff went. And the buggy's fine for the family, but it's not like nimble.
No. It's a bus.
And some of these things get going like this. I'm like, we're going to get all the way down in here. And I'm going to find out that I can't fit. And then what the fuck we got to do?
Well, Dave, I'm just going to throw it out there. Statistically speaking, you're not the first full-size 4-door side-by-side to roll down through there.
Right, but fair. You're probably right. But I probably was more worried about something breaking than anybody else that would take their full-size.
Well, it's under warranty. You're all right.
I don't know if that works that way. Maybe it does. Maybe it does.
If it's a piece of equipment malfunction, it's totally that. But I don't think they cover like.
Yeah, you wrap it around a tree. Probably.
Yeah,
not.
they don't cover axles.
Well,
and
some of them little of these, like we about ended up wrapped around a tree. At
Switchbacks.
Yeah, just because I got to go so goddamn wide.
Switchback
to be able to cut it back, and one of them it was a soupy muddy damn mess.
Oh, I told you that.
Soupy muddy damn mess.
I seen him at the gas station before, and you could just tell he was really thrilled about going.
Well, the next day, the following morning, I had to drop that thing off at to get serviced at a place, And I'm not going to be that guy that just drops it off like you got to.
What car wash did you go to?
The driveway.
Okay.
Jen was like, we should go to a car wash. I'm like, no. I was like, that is a shitty thing to do.
You're damn right it is. Thank you.
And so we didn't.
Coming from a car wash owning family. Thank you.
But I was out there in the driveway for 2 hours, and I thought I did pretty good.
2 hours.
We only rode for 2 hours, and I was still out there for 2 hours trying to get metal, and it's still not perfect. It was a freaking.
Well, it is a side by side.
It
will not be perfect ever. You know?
She's like, this is what it's made for. As the doors are rubbing on the side of this goddamn, like William could reach out and touch the ground.
Well, sure. You need to get rock sliders and stuff like that.
That's what I told her. I said, that's what I told her. I was like, if we're going to be doing this, we got to.
We're going to be doing this tactical off-roading shit. I mean, I don't know. You've spaceship that up pretty good already. I can't imagine what else.
But William?
What else? Oh, I bet he loved every second of it.
His smile went from ear to ear.
He had
I bet his face
shit
hurt.
all over his helmet.
Just the left side, because he hung his head out of the door the whole ass time.
Did you see the pictures that Jenna put online?
I didn't know.
Oh, my God. His head was out the window.
At least one time he went, this is the best day I've ever had. Just hanging his arm out, getting pelted with whatever weird ass mud they got.
Oh gosh!
But no, it was just a weird thing. Like I didn't expect it to be so.
That property in particular used to not be.
It's a coal mine ground. It used to not be managed.
It used to not be managed, and me and old brother Love have been out there several times before it was a thing, you know. And there used to be like you could go in the back way and. If you can make it through this one big ass lake water hole, you were good. And if you can't, you're screwed and all this shit.
Now, there was some deep water there. It doesn't look like it looked narrow like a puddle, but then it's coming up over the headlights of the buggy. And I'm like, oh, good grief.
We got
water
so
here.
If you could imagine, if you went all the way to the north end of that state property to where you hit a county road that would run east and west.
I think that's 1,200 or something.
Used to, that would be where we would go in because you could ride your four-wheeler.
What do they call it? 5 points? 5 point?
You go back through 5 points and then you just keep going towards Spurgeon and then you
we were almost to it. And what it is, it looks like there's just like a barrier, like
the big berm,
concrete, like
Legos and all. They put all kinds of shit up there.
But you can probably still get to the road if you wanted to.
Used to, because that's the last time I was down there with some friends. We just created our own way through the area and made sandwiches, and it was a good time. But used to, if you were to go on the north side of the road, there was nothing but there was these big coal flats where it was basically just slurry pits from the mine. Triad had mined all the way through that. And their wash plant, all of the water that had coal fines and other shit, they would just pump out in these big. Because this was like pre-reclamation act and all that stuff. Well, you would ride on that shit, and it was like a wave. So like the top 6 or 8 inches was solid with coal fines, but it wasn't nothing but straight shit underneath it. So when you'd walk on it, like you could
everybody's been in a driveway like that. Yeah,
the whole thing would move. You know
like
what I mean?
A waterbed.
Exactly. And I don't know if Justin was with us one night or not, but we got back in there and a fella from Jasper had a big square body Chevy sitting on like 40s or something back in there, and he was being all hot doggy, and he spun through it and broke down, and
that's trouble.
The whole ass end of his truck went down in it, and then there we sat, and we were stuck back in there for probably 6 hours, and this was pre-cell phone. Like our parents knew where we were going. But we didn't come back for a long time to where the one guy's mom was going to call the law and have like a search party sent out and all kinds of shit. Luckily, some fine folks from, I think it was like the Linville Jeepers Club or some Warwick County based like Jeeping club. They had to get the old block and tackle and the snatch straps and all that kinds of shit. And they ended up like tandem hooking 2 Jeeps to it, and with the block and tackle, they double down like you double your winch weight with however that pulley system worked. It took 2 Jeeps winching, tied off to 2 more Jeeps, tied off to 1 truck. So it was like 2, and then they teed into this 1 truck in the back. And they were all winching at the same time to pull that big
Cool as
It was neat to watch, but man, we were red-assed when we got home. Our parents, all of us were grounded. Like they were pissed.
Hey, but it wasn't your fault.
No, I mean, we just victim of circumstance. You know what I mean? Old boy just got hung up, and hell, we can't just leave him. You know what I mean? Like, we got to stay there because he broke his front drive shaft, which turned it into a 2-wheel drive truck, which is pretty much pointless at that point. But
yeah,
there was a lot of good time spent back in there. Yep.
I told Jenna we'll go back. I feel like now I know a few trails that I can. No, I just feel bad when the kids. I didn't want to get stranded back there.
Nah, there's enough people that use that now. I don't think that stranded thing's really anything.
A ton of people for a Sunday, and I
Mhm.
can't believe how nice it is. I didn't expect it. Like, you just ride through these trails, and then there'll be like a small clearing on top of a spoil bank.
Yeah.
And there'll be 2 picnic tables there, and a little place to pull off. Just, well, that's fucking nice.
Was there anybody at the gatehouse?
There's a guy at the gatehouse.
So you have to pay to get in now.
But really, it's per vehicle, not like per off-road vehicle. It's $15. You can do $95 for a year.
Yeah.
We saw one DNR guy.
Yeah.
And then there was a CO out there.
Mm-hmm.
We passed them each a couple of times. They were just making their rounds, being sure nobody was.
Beverages?
So we actually didn't take any because I kind of expected somebody to be checking coolers since they post so much that you're not supposed to have beverages.
Right.
But even driving through, there's another thing I was worried about is just some drunk ass on a dirt bike T-boning where William's sitting or something.
Well, but that's why they post the no alcohol.
Well, sure.
And I'm sure people were having beverages there, but nobody.
It's kind of one of those deals that it polices itself.
Yeah.
That if somebody.
And I think that's what surprised me. Like, it was. Everybody was having a good time. You could tell. Well, there's this one old boy whose Jeep Cherokee, like, it was broke down, and somebody pulled in with a real nice 3/4 ton Power Stroke to get him out. He was having a bad day because his shit was broke down. But everybody else was just super friendly. Like, they'd stop, go on, because they could tell you're a group, you know.
Some guy, we all went there after work one morning because we worked right there by it. And we went there one morning after work. A whole bunch of us did. And I just drove my truck, the white truck. You know, I just, Baja back through there with that whole thing. And guy had like a Razor or Ranger, like when they first come out, and like broke the wheel off of it, like broke an A-arm and hit a rock, broke the A-arm. It was stuck. We were miles from nowhere to get back the road. And I had to go back. I was the only guy. Went back and got the trailer that this thing came there on and wadded our ass back in there. And then pulled that thing through the trails on the trailer. And it was like the trailer had like golf cart tires on it. It was a wild deal. But yeah, we used to go there all the time. Hill climbing, just there's some cool shit.
I don't care to do any of that shit where I might break something expensive.
Yeah.
But just to go find a deep mud
The
puddle.
thing is, you gotta go at the right time though, because like the dust
Now, I was telling
is a
Jenna,
huge issue out there.
I was worried about the mud, but I would rather do it in the mud because it would be rough as a cob if it was dry.
Oh yeah, and then the
awful.
dust, you'd be eating dust. It's terrible in the summer. Yeah, so
It was a good time.
yeah.
Anyway, just
glad you had fun.
never been, and I was a little anxious.
We took
about
a spring break trip to the one up in Attica, Indiana. The Badlands that they call it,
Now,
Indiana
there's
Badlands.
one close to my hometown, south of ways, called Haspin Acres.
Yeah, that's another
Never
one.
been there, but everybody always went there with their trucks and 4-wheelers. But I think it's a similar. type.
There's several of those riding parks that are somewhat close to here.
Lot in Tennessee.
Dirty Turtle, and what the hell,
Blue Wash, or Blue Aqua,
Blue Hole, or something. There's all kinds of them. Yeah, good times.
Yeah, good times. That's what I had.
Good. I'm glad.
Good topic.
Glad you had a
You'll have
good
to come
weekend.
down next time. Hey, I did notice that somebody fucked up my door on the other side. So the back doors won't open enough for a big fella to get in because they've got like a restraint to keep him from opening too far. Well, that must have opened while we were riding or something, and it just broke that strap off. So we can put big fellas in the back again. So
Good news.
Nice.
Good news.
we might have to have a
Here.
Yeah, good
coffee
news.
cruise here
Great
soon.
news. This is great news. I'm excited.
You ought to be.
Yeah, I'm as out of the 4 individuals sitting in this room that doesn't own one of those.
So you can hop in there?
Well, got to
It's better
find
to
time
ride
in the busy
together
schedule.
anyway.
Yeah, that's true.
Before the kids get up. 6 to 8, drink a pot of coffee, neighborhood watch.
I don't see 6 a.m. very often.
7 to 9.
Shocker.
7 I see all the time.
We can do 7 to 9. Kids will
Yeah.
be just getting up, ready for you to cook breakfast. You have a little buzz going on if you want, or just coffee.
Big coffee guy in the morning.
Yeah, me
too.
too.
Yeah, so nothing wrong with that. Hey, it's time for some Merkley & Sons Choice Cut questions of the week for the fellas. Brought to you by Merkley & Sons, and of course, they are the ultimate destination for meat enthusiasts. February is a big month. It may be short on a few days, but it's a big one. We've got the Super Bowl, we've got Valentine's Day, and hell, maybe even in your household, President's Day is a big deal. The good news is that when you throw that massive Super Bowl party, you can utilize those high-quality Merkley & Son meats. Whether you are going with a simple spread or something more in-depth, the fellas over there at Merkley's have got you covered. Fellas, listen up. Cook dinner for your significant other on Valentine's Day. Skip the dog and pony show that is February 14th and show off your culinary skills. Ladies, listen up. Don't waste your time. Head on over to Merkley's, do a little shopping, and make this the best Valentine's Day ever for your mate. All right, fellas. Superfan Corky.
Hey.
Superfan Corky.
Yes.
Shout out to our buddy Corky. Always good to see you, pal. Guy's always got a smile on his face. He's a high energy guy.
Yeah, he
Guy's
is.
got a big motor in there. He runs wide open. First question from Corky. You have to change your first name. What name would you choose?
Mace, what do you got? I'm going to think about this for a
I
minute.
don't know either, man. Damn it.
At first, I was going to say Axel. That's what came to my mind.
Axel. I was going to say Rooster.
Oh, dang.
Rooster Lindemann.
Really? No. I was going to say.
You know, my uncle's middle name is Richard.
Dick Smoker.
Yeah.
That's
You
awesome.
would.
That's what your name is on my phone.
I know you.
I think it would be cool to be like some folks like name their kid like Major something or
Ulysses.
like I think it would be cool to be like Bear Lindemann. Like, hey, I'm Bear. Like Bear Lindemann, nice to meet you. Unless you're like a little like soft, no spine son of a
You know,
bitch.
my
Power
name.
Wagon Smoker.
My name was my name in sixth grade. I think Miss Robbins. We had when did we take Spanish in sixth grade? Miss Robbins was our
Oh yeah.
I think it was sixth or seventh grade, and my name was Alejandro.
You look like an Alejandro.
So I'd probably change it to Alejandro and then just go by Al. You know, Al for short. Hola, me llamo Alejandro. You know, something like that.
I don't know. I've always liked Thomas, but the bad thing about doing
Tommy!
names- but that's the thing.
Tommy boy.
Hey, Tommy!
Oh, Tommy. I'd probably change my name to Neighbor Doug.
Yeah, that's a good name.
Dougie?
Neighbor Doug. Smoke, are you going to go with Power
Axel. We'll go with just Axel.
Axel?
That's the
How,
first-
how would you spell it? AXL or AXEL?
EL, just change it up.
Oh, there you go. You have to pick an outside temperature that stays the same for the rest of your life. What temp would you pick?
67 degrees
Nope.
because you can't swim.
Yep. I would do
82 is probably good.
yeah. I was going to say definitely low 80s, but see now the humidity's got a lot to do with that. I don't give a shit what it is. It could be 75. It could be 80 degrees with no humidity for the rest of my life, and I would never bitch about the weather.
I'll buy that. Yeah, is it an Arizona 80 or an Indiana 80?
In Arizona 80.
Yeah,
100%.
Arizona 80, I'm in.
But then
That's the dry heat.
But then
Dry heat.
But 3 weeks like from December 20th from my birthday, December 10th to January 10th, I would want it to be sub-zero with snow.
Not through deer season. You still want 80 degrees in deer season.
No, you're right.
It's really a tough question, Corky.
Yeah,
'cause it's
from November
Situational.
1st to February 1st. November, December, January.
I like a winter. I don't
3
even
months.
mind the cold. I just hate the
3 months of snow and cold.
I hate
would be
the
fine.
ice to water like what we had now. 70 degrees last weekend.
And then it's
Went to
gonna-
work Monday with no coat because it was 70 degrees on Sunday. And then I tried to walk on Tuesday. It was 39 degrees outside.
Yep.
And we got this cold ass rain.
Yep.
But there ain't no freaking ice outside that door, so it
That's
could be
good.
worse.
I'd say probably low 70s. That's where I'd be at. Peanut butter and crackers or cheese and crackers?
cheese.
That's super situational because I'm a big fan of both.
Yeah, me too.
I ate it for break like a lot.
Cheese
Cheese
now,
and crackers with ketchup.
Okay, so not just like the
That's weird.
cheese crackers, not like the orange crackers with the cheese.
What?
Cheese and crackers with ketchup?
Hands down, yes.
There are going to be people that watch this show and say, I've never done cheese and crackers with ketchup.
There's also going to be people on this show that think you're a moron for never hearing of it. Like, that's a staple.
Not a chance. You could put the poll up now.
Do it.
I think that's a product of your raisin thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm no stranger to
Ketchup, cheese, and crackers.
just crackers and ketchup.
Yeah. Saltines?
Mm-hmm.
Duh. Yep.
Rain for 10 straight days or snow for 10 straight days?
Snow.
Depends on the time of the year.
Well, it's going to
Yeah, I wouldn't want it to snow for 10 days in July. That would be up.
Attaboy, Dave. Way to really jump to the heart of the issue. I don't mind the rain. It just depends. The accumulation factor. The accumulation of the snow would be a problem because it affects your transportation. And,
Yeah.
But the kids had such a good time.
Yeah, but you ended up on your big ass because of that.
FTK.
That was because of the melting. Then we went back to freezing weather.
Okay, whatever, Dave. Snow skiing or water skiing? I'm out on both of these.
Yeah.
Neither.
I'm going to drive whatever's closest and watch you.
Ever
Yeah.
seen my knees?
Yeah, Corky, you got to know your audience here.
Read the room, Bubba.
Yeah. Question specifically here. Esquire, favorite food choices at Fast Eddie's in West Baden? Well, Corky, I'm going to tell you what. You can't go wrong with the tenderloin sandwich or the chicky tenders, but they do a pretty fair mott stick. The jalapeno poppers are generally pretty good. They do a nice yogurt parfait. I know there's going to be some judgment on that. I
I'm
can see
judging you.
Yeah, but that's pretty good. They do some good puddings, but don't do the mushrooms because the last batch I had was soggy.
Yucky.
But it's kind of like a Friday, like after work, just go in and get a little snack.
Nobody likes soggy shrooms.
No, that's true. So that's it. Long Dong, favorite meal at Butcher and Barrel.
Oof. The Hamilton sampler or the platter is a go-to. I usually do the brisket, sticky chicken, and the pork belly burn ends. That would probably be number one, and number two coming in would definitely be the ribeye.
For Long Stroker Smoker, favorite restaurant in Liberty, Indiana.
Man, Jay's Cafe.
Jay's Cafe.
I don't know if it's still there. They shut the one in Richmond down, but just good chicken tenders and JoJo's. Potato wedges.
Tater wedges for us Southern folk.
That's what we had for our little wedding reception back home.
Chicken tenders and JoJo's?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, boy.
We broke Jen and all them Jasper folks in well.
I bet they thought
We had a party in a barn.
freaking
chicken
hillbillies.
tenders and tater wedges.
Did
And
it-
called them
swear to God,
JoJo's.
we did.
Hey, we're having chicken tenders and JoJo's.
That's a
that
wild
sounds
deal.
fancy.
And then they call their shopping carts buggies.
I've heard that before.
Weirdos.
Corky, big thank you, buddy. We appreciate it. One of those guys that always watches, always listens, and we appreciate it. Always involved in the show. Appreciate all your effort throughout the years.
Oh, yeah.
It's time for some
God,
final
that's
thoughts.
wild throughout the years.
Yeah, it's crazy. We can say it now. We're going to go around the old table one more time for some final thoughts. Big thank you to our friends at Butcher and Barrel.
Butcher and Barrel, the new kid on the block. The fine dining experience right in the heart of Huntingburg. The place for hearty portions and unique cocktails. What can we say? Butcher and Barrel is the fine dining establishment that is ready to celebrate life's big moments or just a date night with the person you love. Butcher and Barrel has a unique menu from classic steaks to unique creations. And let's not forget about their craft cocktails. We're fans of eating. Look at us. But trust in the fact that the people behind Butcher and Barrel care and strive for excellence in everything they do. Make a reservation soon and tell them the Dutchman sent you.
Smoke Dragon?
We said it was going to happen. We're going to have nice weather, and it's just going to be the fake spring and back to shitty weather. And you got to keep the old mental health clear. So do something this weekend with friends and family. Get out there, have a good time, and get ready to go.
Big fella?
Yeah. So my final thought today was I had a friend reach out to me and asked to tell the Wanderers in Wonderland about The Holland American Legion is raffling off another Barrett Model 99 at $20 each. 500 tickets to be sold. The drawing will be held as soon as the tickets are sold. Obviously, you got to have a driver's license, and they've got a license number on file. So head on down to Holland Legion, conveniently located on Main Street in Holland, Indiana, and get your ticket bought. And to capitalize on what David said, keep your stick on the ice. What you got, bub?
Big thank you to Krieg Insurance, Hopf Outdoor Power, LC Lawn Care, and Pressure Washing. The boys over there at Merkley & Sons, and, of course, Butcher and Barrel. We appreciate all them here in the month of February. I just wanted to briefly say that right now in society, there is these thoughts that we're not allowed to audit our federal government. And I think that everything that involves tax dollars should be transparent of where they go to and where they don't. I know we don't talk politics. We don't get into it.
I'd remind you to look at how we got here in America.
What do you mean?
Just F you, pal. We do what we want.
Yeah. So I'm kind of loving it right now. I'm a big fan of the meltdowns online because I don't know. I just enjoy watching these people go nuts and then posting it on social media. Like, it's different if you went to the woods and screamed and shouted, but you're a grown adult putting it on social media that you can never take off online. But just finding humor in some things that, is what it is. But no, it's good. February is great. Valentine's Day is not just about your significant other. If you got a spouse, a girlfriend, or whatever, a situationship, it's also for
situationship. Wow.
It's a real thing. Yeah.
That's cool.
Tell your, I love you, Big Mace.
I love you too, man.
I love you, Smoke Dragon.
I love you too as well.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate that. But don't think to not reach out to your parents. Tell them you love them, your kids. I always get the kids a little something for Valentine's Day. They appreciate it. So, and you also, spoil the ones you love a little bit. They deserve it because ours put up with a lot of bullshit.
That's right.
Especially Big Mace's.
Mm-hmm.
But she doesn't listen to it, so
that's fine.
She doesn't listen to the show.
Yeah.
But it's okay. Take us out of here, fellas.
Dutchman out.